Welcome to Glamping Doodles. This is the show where we take you around this great country of ours, traveling by RV. We give you a taste of what the cruising life is like and have some fun along the way. So buckle up and come along for the ride as we go cruising around the USA by land. In the previous video, I took you to downtown Little Rock, Arkansas, near the Arkansas River, and then we continued on up to Nashville, where I took you on a tour of downtown Nashville on Broadway Street. Had a good time here in Nashville, but 4 nights here. It was nice. But now I gotta pack up and get moving. Ooh. Good thing you weren't sitting directly under that. You were pretty close to it. One thing I learned from last time is to use your little hook when rolling it up too, because you get to the last foot or two and you just have to let it go and it rolls up inside. So use this to put it back up too. All right. All the slides are in, disconnected, time to get out of here. Gotta put the jacks up and then we'll get out of here. Pretty nice little park. This was the Nashville KOA. There's at least 2 or maybe 3 more little RV parks here. They all look to be equally large and have the same stuff. Also, I'm not saying this is better than the others, so I think they're all pretty good here. They call this like Music Valley, I believe is what this little area is called. There's like some restaurants and go-karts and stuff like that if you're into it. But yeah, and it's they got a shuttle going to downtown Nashville. It's about a 10-minute ride, 15 tops, to downtown Nashville. So definitely worth a stop if you're going to be coming through here. Now I decided I got to go back to Dallas because I'm going to go film on my other channel. That's Sailing Doodles. We're going down to Belize for 2 weeks. We got a catamaran down there. We're going to go cruise around there. I got myself and 3 girls. So should have a good time there. So be sure to check that out. But so I've got to go back to Dallas to leave this thing there for a little bit and get some work done on it. I need to have the generator serviced. So I'm going to do it in over 3 days, 3 days of driving. It'll be a little over 3 hours, less than 4 hours of driving each day. So today I'm going to head towards Memphis and go to Graceland. Made it to the RV park. Just pulling into my spot right now. Not a bad drive, really. It was, somewhere around 4 hours. Not too bad. Graceland, the exhibit is open for another 3.5 hours, or 2.5 hours. So I think I may get the RV set up and then go check out Graceland. All right, got everything all set up and to be comfortable. I'm just gonna kind of hang here tonight, so I'll be chilling in this area. But right now I'm gonna go to Graceland. It's like literally this is the Graceland RV park, so it's actually attached to Graceland. And so I'm just gonna walk through the gate and go to Graceland. I think it's like $70 for a ticket, but for all the reviews say it's definitely worth it. So I'm gonna give it a shot. They don't allow videography inside Graceland, because if you get to see what's in there on video, then why would you go? Sorry, spam calling me again, of course. So I'm just gonna walk right over there. I'll snap a few pictures with my phone, but I won't be able to do video, so I'll report back to you. Graceland's right there, walking through the gate from the RV park. Let's check it out. Elvis purchased the 14-acre Graceland estate in 1957 for $102,000. He lived in the estate until his death in 1977, and it opened to the public as a museum in 1982. So it was pretty cool checking out the Graceland there. I mean, it's just seeing the way he lived. Pretty opulent. I mean, I think the thing that struck me the most was that so I should have taken some pictures of it, but there was he was writing checks for $50,000 for furniture like in the 70s. That's like a lot of money in the 70s. But now I'm going to his airplane, so he had a lot of money. Elvis was known to make a midnight run from Nashville to Denver just to get his favorite sandwich, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So that was Elvis's Convair 880. Now I'm going over to this thing, Jetstar. I've actually seen one of these fly, not in a long time, but these things are ancient. I used to be a corporate pilot, so Jetstar, man, you don't see many of these. So that's actually a fuel pod right there, because it burns so much fuel. I mean,
and 2 extra giant fuel pods, man. These things burn so much fuel.
A Jetstar can carry 10 passengers and carries 18,000 pounds of fuel for its 4 thirsty engines.
Pretty cool seeing all the airplanes, and now you get to see his car collection, which is, I'm pretty sure, pretty spectacular. It's a pretty cool tour. It's expensive, $75, but I mean, the guy lived a pretty remarkable life. Interesting to see all this stuff here. I mean, he was the king, right? Tell you what, that was pretty cool. I think it was definitely worth the money. I mean, something you need to see just to kind of get a feel for what it was like to be Elvis, man. I couldn't imagine, just crazy. But definitely worth it. I'd say plan on 2 hours. I mean, it was about hour and a half, hour 45, probably about hour 45 for me. I went through pretty quick, but if you really wanted to spend some time there and see every little detail, you could easily spend 3 hours, maybe 4 in that whole thing. But I'd say plan on 2 hours if you're wanting to come see it. But now back to the RV park, which thankfully I just walked through the parking lot right here and the RV is right there. I've already got the slide outs pulled in. I'm turning the air conditioner off. The reason I like to do that is, you know, when you're hooking up the power, I don't want there to be an initial surge like everything, you know, so I turn this off so that way when I do plug the RV back into the next spot, it doesn't just automatically kick everything on at once. So the battery charger can come on first, and then everything boots up, and then I can turn the air conditioner on when I'm ready. But I've already got everything rolled in. As you can see, it's a lot tighter in here when that's rolled in. Obviously, that's not the way you live, but all right, let's get out of here. Two things that are good habits to get into. Number one is turn the circuit breaker off before you disconnect or reconnect your shore power, because you're talking 30 amps on there, and so if you spark that, if you as it's connecting, it'll arc, right? Because you know it's a lot of amps and volts going through there, and so that'll eventually deteriorate the connections on both that and your cord. So plug it in first, then turn the breaker off, and then of course the opposite way around, turn it off and then unplug it, and do a walk around. That's the old airplane stuff. So I just walk around, make sure I got everything hatch closed, everything's set to go, so I'm not forgetting something. I mean, last thing you want to do is take off and you're still connected to the water line or something because you just weren't thinking.
All right, on the way to Hot Springs, Arkansas, about 3.5 hour drive, something like that. That's a good amount of stretch, 3.5, 4 hours. You're not too tired. You still get there plenty of time to do stuff during the day. Although I would say it'd be nice to explore a place a little bit more than just one night, because you don't really get to explore much just one night.
Maybe someday when I've grown older, I can see it all clear from above, looking back on it.
All right, just about there. About 4 hours that I stopped for lunch and gas and all that, so no big deal. But going to this place is called Catherine's Landing. It's right here on the lake, so we'll check it out.
Catherine's Landing is a beautiful RV resort on the Washita River in Hot Springs, Arkansas. The grounds are extremely well maintained and is the perfect weekend getaway for a family.
I'm really digging this resort here. It's pretty cool. Catherine's Landing. I mean, right here on the water, backing in. There's people renting pontoon boats. You can do some fishing out there, do whatever you want. I set up a hammock a minute ago. It was doing all right. Now I'm just kind of kicking back, drinking beer. And it's nice and cool down here by the river. Even though I didn't really film much here and I was only here for one night, this has been one of my favorite spots to be so far. Catherine's Landing here in Arkansas. It's about 5 hours, 4.5, 5 hours northeast of Dallas. Really cool spot. I mean, right here on the water, you can rent pontoon boats, and they have a nice pool. They have a disc golf course, and I took my bike cycling. Pretty good area for that. Definitely want to come back here and spend some more time, but I've got to get back to Dallas because I've got a couple appointments this afternoon, and then I am flying to Belize in 2 days to film for Sailing Doodles. So if you haven't checked out Sailing Doodles yet, check that out. I got 3 beautiful women coming with me to Belize, so it'll be a good time. But now I'm gonna pack this stuff up and get out of here. All right, on my way. The GPS says like 4.5 hours, so I'm counting on 5. Just because, you know, you're never gonna go as fast as that thing says. Well, I mean, I guess you can go faster if you're in a car, but in an RV, you're never gonna go as fast. But pretty good little trip. I'm going to Belize for 2 weeks, like I said, and then I'll be back on the road, and I'll have another crew with me this time, so it's a little more entertaining for you. But please click that like and subscribe button. I need to put my seatbelt on, and we'll see you in the next video, guys. And I still am looking for a new host for this show for Glamping Doodles. So if you're interested in doing that, send me a link. I'm not gonna open any attachments. Send me a link to a video that you made, 3 minutes or less, about why you think you'd be a great host for Glamping Doodles. This would be like a full-time thing. You get the RV, you get to travel around, you get the camera gear, and then you're gonna actually earn a living doing this. So you guys send me that. There's a link to my email down in the show notes, and let's get it done. So even if you can't do it, maybe you've got some kids or something like that you think would be good for the channel, tell them about it, have them send me a video, and let's make some videos.